True beats.
Hey, welcome to my channel. My name's Taylor. Okay, I'm gonna keep this intro pretty short because this video is super long and I don't want to have people just get totally bored and zone out. I am going to show you no bullshit how to paint your kitchen cabinets yourself and get, a pretty damn good result in my opinion. I use Benjamin Moore Advance in this video, and I roll and spray. So if you want to see how it works doing both of those things, you've come to the right place. This isn't going to be a very vloggy or humor heavy video like some of my other stuff because I'm trying to get to the point. I'm trying to show you how I did this. I understand this is probably a weird angle for my intro, but it is overcast and I'm tired of waiting for good lighting in order to do this. So this is the best we got. I'm sorry I kind of look like a hot mess. This has been quite an ordeal for me, but very fun. What else do I got? I don't think I have anything else. I'm going to show you from day one, from work day 1 through work day 9. Yep, it took me 9 days. I'm gonna show you how I painted my kitchen cabinets, so just keep watching. Oh, and also subscribe and I would really appreciate that. I'm trying to get this YouTube channel up off the ground. Yeah, if you found this video helpful, I appreciate a subscribe and a like and maybe a comment. I'll leave all your questions down below. Okay, bye.
I know, I was just gonna say you can take off.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Just the one in there and then take them off.
You are so smart. Let me get a bag. Here's something that's pretty exciting, and I don't know if this is standard, but anybody else just have a whole bunch of sauces and crap in one drawer? In order to paint the front of these drawers, the face just comes off. And I've left the screws, all the screws for the handle and to hold the face on. I've left all the associated screws just in the drawer. That's gonna make doing the drawers really easy. It took about an hour and a half to get all of the cabinets and hardware and everything situated. I have them all piled behind me right now on something soft to prevent them from getting dented on my garage floor. I'm in my garage right now, which probably isn't the best. The reason why it might not be the best is because it is usually pretty dusty in garages. I did use my leaf blower to kind of blow dust out of the door before I brought everything in here. But now I'm gonna use my mouse sander. I'm going to sand all edges, crevices, sides of every single door using 150 grit sandpaper. Or actually, hold please. Just kidding, not 150, I'm using 220, which is really, really fine. Uses, I would say go finer. Definitely go finer. Okay, here we go. Oh, and make sure to wear a mask while you do this. You don't wanna breathe in all these dust particles. Okay, so real quick, it is 5:35 right now. I think we started on this probably like 2:30. About 3 hours, we got all the doors off, all the hardware off. Doors are all sanded, they're in the garage for the night. I have taped off all the borders, done some taping inside, blah, blah, blah. I haven't sanded and cleaned all of these yet. Kind of running out of steam for tonight. I feel like we got a lot done. I really hate how chaotic it looks in here right now, but whatever. We got it all done. We got our bags of goodies, and they're just gonna chill right here where they can't get lost until the project is over with. But this is what we're gonna leave with for tonight. Hey, good morning. Okay, so we're back here, day 2. As I was doing some more prepping last night, I realized that this is going to take way longer than I thought. People did warn me about that. I don't think I'm going to get any of the doors sprayed today. We'll see. It's probably the coldest day we've had so far this winter. It's only like a high of 20 today, which is, in my opinion, pretty bizarre for here. But all my doors are in the garage, and I don't think I want to spray when it's this cold in the garage. We'll see if I come up with a solution for that. Anyway, what I am gonna do today is I'm going to prep all of these parts. I don't know what to call these. I'm going to prep and put 1 layer of paint on all of these. I was looking at the website for Benjamin Moore, and it says that you're supposed to have 4 to 6 hours for the first coat to dry, but 16 hours between coats, which is a lot, but they recommend Benjamin Moore Advanced for cabinets because once it does cure all the way, it is solid. It is a solid, durable enamel finish. I think what matters most in the long run is durability, so I think you just gotta make, this project is probably gonna take me all week, to be honest, to do multiple coats of all the things that need coats. Anyway, so I'm gonna get these prepped, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do that, and then I'm going to show you how I paint them. The first step is to clean them. I was talking to my painter friend, Mr. Dirk, and he told me his favorite thing to use to clean this type of thing, or really anything that he's about to paint, is the hottest water you can stand and ammonia. So that's what I have in this bucket right here, really, really, really hot water and some ammonia, and I'm going to clean the surface. And yeah, it does reek. It smells like a litter box. Ammonia is super cheap and effective, so that's why he recommended it to me. I used my vacuum to get most of the dust off. Now I'm gonna use a tack cloth. It's kind of like a cheesecloth, but it's pretty sticky, and once you're done handling it, your fingers will be kind of sticky, but it's meant to pick up dust and particles and really anything that you really don't want ending up in the finish of your paint. I'm going to tack everything, and then I will paint the first layer. And now I'm going to brush the crevices and then roll the brush marks. That's called tip and roll. So I'm gonna do that on the parts that's hard for the roller, and then I'm gonna roll the rest of the flat surfaces. It's been like 5 days since I started this project. Anyway, I realized that I did a crap job of showing you how to actually paint, and it does matter how to paint. So I'm gonna show you how I roll it on, and this is after like some trial and error, because like I said, it's 5 days later. I'm gonna show you how to roll it on, and I'm gonna show you what I mean by tipping and rolling. And I know what you're probably thinking. Taylor, do you wear the same clothing every day? Yeah, I only own 1 hoodie and 1 pair of pants. Anyway, okay, yeah, let me show you how to paint because you can mess it up. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional, but this is what I found after 4 days of painting. This is what I found worked for me. So when I say tipping and rolling in the video, this is what I mean. This isn't necessarily a piece that you would tip and roll on, but tipping and rolling just means you load up your brush, you paint it on the surface to deposit the color. And then you take a roller. Make sure that it has paint on it, okay? Because if you have paint on it, in my opinion, it prevents it from lifting up the paint that you've already put down. And then you roll out the brush marks. And like I've said before in this video, or maybe I'm about to mention it in like a future scene. This is kind of all jumbled, I'm sorry. Once I'm done painting this surface, I am not going to touch it again until it's dry. That way I don't disturb the drying finish of the paint. So when you roll it on, do it slow, make sure your roller is saturated, and then once you're done rolling that section and you think it looks good, don't go back to it, just leave it. Next item I want to address is how to paint this kind of like crown molding part. Oh my God, ignore my nails, I'm so sorry. You wouldn't necessarily want to start at the bottom, okay? In my opinion, you should always start at the top, but here we go. This is how I do it. I really load up my brush. I put it on the thing. I put it on the molding and crevice part, and then I just drag the paint down slowly, okay? And this is a soft bristle brush. I forgot to mention that. Definitely use a soft bristle brush for this project. I feel like the bristles flex a lot more easily and get into crevices. Like I said, once you've gone over it enough and you think it looks good, leave it. And now up here, that's a wet edge, and I have to connect that wet edge to go up here. Like I said, I think it's easier to start at the bottom, and the reason I think that is because of dripping. You're gonna wanna keep an eye on this for a couple minutes to see if you see any drips, and then fix those before they dry. I meant to turn on my little light. Damn it. Okay, anyway, I meant to turn on my little light so you can more easily see that part, but anyway, this is a wet edge. Okay, and this is a wet edge. So before I get too far away from this, I should roll this on. Easy peasy. I'm not worrying too much about getting in here or anything like that, except if there's like a big glob that I need to fix. I'm not worrying too much about that because you can't see those parts anyway. Well, actually, should I just take these out? No, I'm not gonna take them out because I hate resetting drawers, and I'm sure these are all like specific, they all have specific spots that they need to go into, so no, I'm not doing that. Today's day 3. Not very much is gonna happen today. All I'm going to do is I'm going to very lightly sand the first coat, and then I'm going to coat it again. I'll show you a clip of what the texture looks like this morning. It looks like it's smoothed out even more overnight. So it's taken me about an hour and a half to prep my cabinets. I have lightly sanded, I have vacuumed each nook and cranny. I have gone over every nook and cranny with a tack cloth to pick up the rest of the dust particles, and now I'm going to tip and roll. Last night I had a very slight orange peel texture at the end of the day, just very, very slight. It showed up more on camera. Doing a little bit more reading about Benjamin Moore Advanced, it's also clear to me now that it does dry faster where I live, gives it less time to level out. One of the ways that I can help remedy that is to roll it on a little bit thicker, and I'm talking like ever so slightly thicker. That way it has a little more, I don't know, girth to the layer and doesn't dry so fast, which will give the paint a little more time to level out before it dries. So I'm gonna try that right now. Okay, one more video before I quit recording for day 3. So I have finished painting my cabinets for today. I wanted to show you where I created more work for myself, and hopefully you can avoid doing this. I created some pretty bad texture right here, and I created that by rolling and then rolling or painting some other part of this cabinet, and then I rolled back over that piece. So basically what happened is I let this part dry a little bit. I moved over and painted something else, and then I went back over it, tried to smooth it, and I interrupted the process of it drying. I'm gonna have to sand that tomorrow in order to get it off of there, but just FYI, maintain a wet edge. If you create an imperfection at first, do not try and smooth it out again with your roller. Just let it dry, wait until the next day. Good morning, it's the morning of day 4. Here is the second coat. Just look around at the second coat. In my opinion, it's pretty smooth. I'm super pleased. Little thing I did last night, but I went around and I used a little bit of paintable silicone to fill in some cracks. These cracks weren't that obvious when the cabinets were white, but since adding some paint, it's become obvious to me that the cabinets are not perfect, which is fine. So I've gone through and I've added silicone. It takes 30 minutes to dry, but I did it last night. It's paintable, so I will paint over it today. But I'm not going to show anything that I'm doing to these today. It's the same as yesterday. This is the third and final coat, so I'm gonna take extra care to make it pretty. Also, if you're like, Taylor, why haven't you done the doors yet? Well, they're in here. They are all sanded. They're not clean or anything. They're in my garage. I'm going to paint them probably this coming weekend. It's Monday, so I didn't really plan this very well, but I'm gonna paint them this coming weekend because currently it is too cold in the garage to spray. I've read and I've been told that that's what's gonna give me the best finish. This weekend it's supposed to be like 60 degrees outside. I'm gonna wait to spray them this weekend. What up? It has been 5 or 6 days since I did any work on the cabinets. I know I just said in a previous clip that I was waiting until the weekend to spray paint my garage because it's gonna be a little warmer, my garage faces west and the sun was gonna be on it and blah, 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 blah. The weekend came and went. I didn't do any spraying because it didn't actually get that warm outside. Thusly, it didn't actually get that warm in my garage. I'm tired of my kitchen looking like crap. What I did was I went to Lowe's yesterday, picked up a bunch of plastic, some shitty tape just to hold the plastic together. I'm up in my loft right now. You can probably see behind me there's like stuff all around. It's because I've moved everything out of my loft and I'm going to lay down plastic, put plastic on the walls, plastic on the window. I'm gonna crack a window when I do start painting, and I'm going to spray my cabinet doors up here in a climate controlled environment. That way we can get it done. The whole spraying process of the doors is probably gonna take, I'm guessing like 4 days, 2 days per side. In the meantime, I did roll some of my drawer fronts just to see what they'd look like rolled, and honestly they look pretty good. So I'm gonna say it right now, you can get away with just rolling your cabinet drawer fronts. You don't need to spray them. I think they look great. I would do it with the paint that takes longer to dry so that it has a longer time to level, but other than that, I think they look awesome. Hey, okay, just real quick. I was editing the Workday 6, oh, sorry. I was editing Workday 6 a little bit ago while my son was napping, and I realized that my whole intro clip for Workday 6 didn't even have any audio, and it didn't even record the whole thing. Anyway, just for Workday 6 in the morning, which was earlier today, you're gonna see me set up my paint sprayer, mix my paint, show you where I'm painting, and then do some actual painting. Okay, that's it. I just wanted it all to make sense. Okay, bye. I am using the HomeRite Finish Max Super Paint Sprayer. This is a pretty cheap sprayer from Amazon, but it has tons of good reviews, so I'm gonna give this a shot. My sprayer is already prepped per the directions. It already came with what I wanted to use. I wanted to use the green tip and this black nozzle protector in order to get the spray pattern that I want and the finish. If you get a paint sprayer, just look at the directions, okay? It'll tell you exactly what you need to do. And I'm gonna fill it up. You can see the measurements, kind of. Here's 40 ounces right here. It says 24 right here, so I'm gonna go to about 16 and 24. So I'm gonna go to about halfway, and that's 20 ounces. Oh yeah, that seems like a good spray consistency to me. Oh God, what a mess. Okay, this is the paint setup we have on our loft. I have all the doors here. They're cleaned. I vacuumed them. I'm going to tack each of them before I spray. And then in here, I put hot sauce on the bottom to prevent my cats from going in here too much last night, and it worked. I have my sawhorses, which I kind of covered in plastic, but didn't really because I don't really care. Under the first store, I have a decorative wooden turntable, which I've protected with a plastic garbage bag, just so that I can easily spin things if I want. And then over here, oh geez, I still gotta do this. I have some cardboard that I'm going to set the cabinets on. This is a good tip I read on Reddit. So use an egg carton or an egg canister like this. Cut each of these out to create little feet, like 4 each per door, to create little feet to set the cabinet doors on so that they can dry without their edges touching the floor. By the way, I'm using a horizontal spray tip because I think that would be easier. I don't know. It seems like it'd be a more natural movement. Okay, here we go. Okay, I need to adjust the spray finish because this came out kind of speckly in some spots, which is okay. I just need to adjust the nozzle a little bit. I should have tested this first, but I have very limited time. While it's wet, just grab your roller and roll out the texture. No big deal. This is only the first layer. You have the opportunity to sand it. Looks pretty good anyway. As you can see, it's a little bit textured, but this paint is a very leveling paint. And since I've added water, it should actually dry slower. So that'll give the paint even more time to kind of level itself out. So we'll just leave it at that. Like I've said before in the video, don't fiddle with it too much. You'll create a bigger mess for yourself. My particular paint sprayer has a little twisty knob right here, and according to the directions for a finer spray, you twist it counterclockwise. So I'm gonna do that. Let me see how far it goes. It goes pretty far. So maybe I just had it too far the other way. So that seems like a fine medium. We'll give that a shot. Hi. Okay, a few things. I thought I would do a little voiceover here real quick because I learned a few things while spray painting for the first time this morning. So I had always heard that the thinner the coats, the better, right? I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Well, after some trial and error, at least where I live in such a dry climate, by the way, Colorado, I need to spray a little bit thicker, and I need to hold the sprayer closer to the medium that I'm spraying. About halfway through spraying, I realized that I was getting sort of a gritty, powdery finish on my doors. And after Googling it and reading some painting forums, I realized now that I was spraying so thinly and so far away from the medium that the paint was atomizing, I guess, in thin air before it hit the door. So then it'd be partially dry by the time it hit the door, and then it would not be able to level itself out at all later on. So, and I realized that by going back to some of the first doors I sprayed towards the end and brushing them with my hand and realizing that they were sort of powdery feeling, which is funny because looking at the doors themselves, you cannot tell that they have a texture. Like, they looked smooth. That's why I didn't realize there was a problem until later on when I went to touch the doors that I had sprayed earlier on. So tomorrow I'm going to spray a little bit thicker and hold the sprayer closer to the door. So learn from my mistakes. That's okay. The powderiness is so fine and it kind of just brushes off with my hand. I realize it's paint that I'm brushing off, but it just brushes off with my hand. So tomorrow, before I do the second coat, I'll just use a tack cloth on everything like I was going to do anyway, and then spray it on thicker. Okay, thanks, bye. Good morning, workday 7. Okay, probably for the next few days, I'm not gonna show what I'm doing. I'll show you some painting, some of it drying, watching paint dry. I know, Mads, that's crazy. I'm just gonna show you like results from day to day. I'm not gonna show you what I'm doing because basically for the next few days until all the coats are put on and they're basically done, I'm just going to sanding, tack, and paint. That's pretty much it. Am I regretting doing this? No, I'm not regretting doing it, but I wish it would end. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sand this morning, tack, and then probably paint later today. I gotta obey his nap times and he sleeps like crap when I'm in the loft spraying 10 feet away from his bedroom. Okay, bye. Oh, actually, I'll record anything if anything weird happens. But other than that, I think like smooth sailing filming wise from here on out.